I hope you guys take the chance to go to the bathroom and more things. Like, I take the chance to go to the bathroom, go grab some water and some other things like that. Just let me see if that actually is loading the string here. Okay, there is. I see my flopped dino. Okay, so that means let me grab my snack because I want something to snack on while I work on the trial. Okay, so finally, the gigantic door awaits us. Of course, Danny. Wow, Byakuya and Makoto showing up together. Yeah, it's because I went to the bathroom and all that things. I prepare myself something simple like some sandwiches. Where the heck you two been? You disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could we not figure that out by this point? Makoto, Frank, hide enough for you guys to go off together? You the two of you? What, are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourself. He'll be here at any second. Any second? He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tense up and prepare myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma showed up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Shall we keep waiting here or what?
What?
Jeez! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? Hey, you got it all backwards. You are the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We always waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree, it's a violation. I will arrange that punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. I think it's Kirigiri.
hey,
I'm here, and no rules control. Kyoko? Kyoko, you're still alive! No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. Did you wanna fight? Do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But it's okay then. There's no particular penalty for being late.
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You are so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there is no penalty officially, but I bet you will be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you are sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I will just one step ahead of you. Yay, Kyoko is here. So, you really didn't die.
Indeed.
Okay, so there is only one option. Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now we're gonna deal with a ghost. I told you stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what may happen to us if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this trial is over. Kikiriki! Listen, before we started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So
correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There are not any monitors cameras there, so I was able to avoid one almost completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now, I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. It took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely informed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I keep you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I use one of my secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second!
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get into trouble with Monokuma!
Makoto.
We can go all over the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current
It
situation.
would seem...
Because it's probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her. Strange way to put it, but...
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Okay, Makoto. Stop your poetry for later, and let's prepare for the trial.
I can't wait!
Ah! I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jokes has passed.
Thrills!
Let's get on with the show! And so the curtain opened. Okay, stop your talking. Yay! Finally another trial! Let me check my skills. I'm fine. Let's finish the preparations then. Okay, let's prepare to fail.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out, then I'll punish.
Okay, well...
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
What a fucking good beginning!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
I thought you would say she's a zombie.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
It's not a fucking ghost! Yeah, thankfully I don't have to do horrible voice acting.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
This person has burned the upper half of the body via reclamation. Nope.
That Kyoko there is just a... Okay, then prove
The
it.
dead body
They got burnt up in the...
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Oh, nope.
Shoot!
No, I never checked that one.
That...
Okay, so it's not that. Let me check. Remain on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet. Okay, so it's not that. Wait, fake nails. Oh wait, not only float fake nails.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No.
No, it's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
That's fucking right!
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Okay, time to identify the victim.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I think I better hear first.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
I'm between the tattoo on the right hand
If
or
Kyoko
the
really is still alive,
or the
who
exploded
died?
body analysis.
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna try this
And
again.
there wasn't any description of... Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, it's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare that with what information?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Ah! Damn it, I forgot how it was spelled. Oh yeah, they have a tattoo of Yusuf on their hands.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
I got it!
Only two persons.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
Oh, okay. I got a distance. Somehow I have to remember.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
9 o'clock, I think that was.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Oh, true. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pizza and be back here by 9.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
If I can prove an alibi for the period, then... Okay, that will be interesting. Sprinklers exploded body analysis fragment near the body.
We've established a time frame for the murder.
Actually, I think I have an idea for the body. Just let me check that. Body before the explosion. Covering its head. The body was stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. However, there was no blood on the ground. Yeah, the sprinkles.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Nope.
No, it's wrong.
That was quick! Wow, that was really quick!
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Oh my god, will be this... Yeah, okay.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you.
Final strike. Loaded
How
body
can you
analysis.
say it wasn't the...
This should prove it.
There we
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
He was the only one with an alibi. Which will mean that Mokuro killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Oh, shit,
Interesting.
that's right.
I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Certain something. Yes? The tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Wait. Something's not right.
Wait, yes, there is a way to prevent the injured touch the tarp.
And what might that be?
Yeah, I know there is one way. She can, or you can put something. Yeah?
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side...
Oh, I don't have it.
Because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No?
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage? What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Oh, I know. Pollo.
My God! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no.
It was
The
upside
head
down.
was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no, I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
me again. But why? Why is he trying to entrap me?
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh my god, yes!
Oh,
See? Pretty good idea, right?
no, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Oh!
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Is the knife that...
According to the Monokuma file, the
Asahina
knife
gave
went
me.
all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, very important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she may do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why did you hang it onto it, Makoto? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I'm gonna be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her?
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
At the end of it until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone, I'm not a killer. Okay, this is getting really intense. This guy's dead body, exploded body analysis, fragments here, dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
Yes?
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, I don't see anything
The
that...
knife we found lodged.
Actually, let me check something. The murder took place before the sprinkles turned on. The suspect covered the body with a trap to prevent it from being wet. Later, when they removed the tarp, the suspect placed the white jacket on the body. This jacket had previously been treated with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing it. Maybe it's that...
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her. So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and...
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, I don't see any contradictions there for that statement.
The knife we found.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have
That seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what...
No, that's wrong.
Okay. Wait, but I don't understand how.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
Wait, what?
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
Yeah. Oh, right!
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
But the coat was...
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
If it was stated twice in the same spot, no, there is no... The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. No. No, that's not what I wanted to pick. I wanted to check information. Damn it, wrong button. Okay, let me check the button. Explosion. The victim has been stabbed a single time.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
Exactly.
It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
Shut up, dude.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
I got it!
This.
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Ultimately kill the victim. Okay, what killed the victim?
Then, shall we continue the debate?
Yes.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
No! Wait, it says that? It was hit in the back of the head?
Then, shall we continue the debate?
The victim's fatal. The explosion didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you then.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The victim entity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Oh shit! Okay, so the knife was a cover-up and all the other wounds of her body were not fresh.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah, she was already...
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it.
There was evidence... And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across
No,
her
yeah, that's not right.
entire body.
Okay, I don't know. Okay,
Then
one
shall
other
we
attempt.
continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
No, the explosion didn't kill
Well,
her.
yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
So the was actually the back of the head the thing that killed her? Okay, now I'm confused. Really confused. They also have been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a pipe metal. I don't know.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that...
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one...
Oh yeah. According to the Monok, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Okay, gonna try something.
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be...
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
Not necessarily with a handle, but you can turn the pickaxe 90 degrees and you can only hit it with the metal area of the pickaxe.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon. The real murder weapon. Oh my god, don't tell me it's the titanium arrows.
I got it!
It's the titanium arrows.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the Cobra attacked Mukuro with?
But I don't think the arrow, I mean the arrows are not really that take to kill someone.
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
But I don't get it, I mean, when I lived in another house in San Juan Bosco, I had a neighbor that had one of that mechanical bows and some arrows, and they are not really that thick to kill someone with a hit.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
It's weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
Justice Hammer number 5. That was from the old case.
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting, because there is one more thing about the weapon. One more secret. One more secret about the weapon. Bloody duct tape. Oh, shit.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
Yes?
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right?
Yeah.
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Oh!
Back to Master!
Wait.
You have no right!
Not necessarily.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt that was the...
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as... It seems like an arrow would just be...
It's not too deep if you tie all the temp together with a fucking duct tape.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
Exactly.
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence. Yeah. The woodblock.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when? Which would mean that she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does this mean? When the body was found.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Exactly.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what
I'm not the killer.
you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're...
You stated a theory, or you said I hid the evidence and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But
Could I really have done that?
No, she can't.
Those words you just...
exactly, I'm not the killer.
You should understand.
Byakuya,
What are you? Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, there is no proof.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Okay, but apparently someone is telling me that I'm getting close to that point. Let's see.
Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
That's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. Try and save herself if such is her life. Does she really follow the treatment? Because she is the killer? Or is something else? There is a trap Masamune did. Masamune trap. The Masamune is trying to trap Kyoko. But what if that's not really true? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? Ah! It's because how that can be a lie. That's actually true. If she doesn't have... Wait a second, there is a little lie there. I think there is a lie there, let's try that.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
Yeah, now I'm thinking. Byakuya... Kyoko gave her the key to Byakuya so she doesn't get inside the room. But that same day, during the night, she called me to the bathhouse to give me the envelope about the secret. The files she got from the lady.
A lie.
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you, so let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko is a bit lying, and it would be because there is some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. I think I got it. Kyoko's account.
I didn't.
Let me check the account. Monokuma's secret tool, which grants access to any room in the school to sneak into the second floor of the dorms. This area seems to have no monitor or security cameras.
Because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Yeah?
There's no doubt about that, right?
Yeah, there's
You
no
are
doubt.
correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
No!
No, that's wrong.
That's your life!
No. Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself. Didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it, so I lost. That's all this means.
Then, are you saying you really didn't, Kyoko? You really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late. So the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Yes, we know. Who is found guilty? Yeah, you got it right. Really right. We got it right. Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
This time, is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time! And that's how the class trial of Mokuro Ikusawa came to an end. I just had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent or, regardless, the truth was lost forever.
even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mokuro's class trial. And in the end, I will prove to be your last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Howl's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange of the lives of all the others. Peace was only inside the school. Peace was only for us. That was the only hope we had. Peace hope?
No! This isn't right!
Okay, we're back here.
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Oh, that's right, I have to. Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? She's not wrong, I have to think about this very carefully. Okay, so now... Run away! Let it go. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she will kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the mastermind trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time.
Yes, he was in there.
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
Oh, you're blaming me.
It had to be Makoto, right?
Yes.
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
I can't believe I get all A's. That's kind of a lie. Especially how much I fucking failed. But I got 96.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I just noticed that Makoto kinda looks like Cloud. I don't know why. What? Do you think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You're not wrong, I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense!
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills! Chills!
Same when you're founding
Thrills!
positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we we've got. It's punishment time!
Okay, I don't get crushed, but I'm gonna die from a gigantic fall. Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, what's that? Oh yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter Ego? Alter Ego? It's some stupid virus from that stupid guy. They must have planted it when I came with my network. Damn it to hell. I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you already won? I barely felt that thing, it was an inch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe you didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again.
Yeah!
To waste away in a garbage troop pit in a way that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now is the mastermind that is snared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You will understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope Speaks Academy. Wait, are we starting this again? Or the game just glitched? I don't know if I'm starting this again or the game just glitched. Oh. Never mind. What? Where am I? Head racing into water wooden. Yeah, whatever. What the heck's going on? Oh shit! Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again then. I was awake. Or was it just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. This is not a dream. Ooh! What an awful smell. I was in a vast cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. This was some kind of underground garbage pit? Yeah, it's the thing from the intro movie, where actually one student actually got killed. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give it up now, for myself and for my friends. My pursuit for survival began. First of all, to start looking a way out of here. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Another piece of the tank. Is that an airplane? How does something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? It's locked. No matter how many times I push or pull and kick, it didn't budge. Getting out here is not gonna be easy. I'm not going out here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be served which drinks I can drink and which ones are a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was the only way to preserve the little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to be passed. And all I did sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky was not a sign, not exactly. What the? That strange sound pierced my silent isolation during a wake. As I watched a pile of garbage jostled and formed out shape. Did something fall down over there? Okay, let's explore this. Did the giant piece of trash just fell down here? Here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Ruth. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, we know who it was.
It smells
Nice hat, Kikiriki. What the hell? This place smells awful. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here? Isn't that obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave it a quick sharp shake to get rid of the trash.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Oh, you're so cute. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she holding out for me. Within a second it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. That really hit the spot. Now I got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still have not given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Hyoko, why did you throw yourself to the trash? Why did you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or... no. To atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... there was a reason that I had to survive. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I will tell you. I will tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hawk's Peak Academy for one very important reason. And that's it.
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently, I've forgotten what it was. You forgot to that. I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then it's really true, you lost your memory.
Makoto.
You remember, Makoto? You remember the first thing that happened to each of us soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation with myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I forgot it. I could not remember why I come to this school, and I could not remember what my ultimate ability was. But what will make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems too much convenience. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind they stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason there's only one reason I come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow, they will interfere with the mastermind plans. Yeah, because the mastermind just stole them from you.
However...
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself the whole time, because you are the ultimate detective. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and well work on that mastermind, we have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. Besides, it's a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind of one of us. If she believed that, then of course she cannot trust anyone around here. In which case, it only makes sense that she will look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were less likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right. There is no way an ordinary kid like me could be the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here.
Actually, not joking. I'm kind of doing my own assumptions. Because she always knew everything about the case. And in the later cases like Chihiro and all of that, she had no problems checking the bodies and all that. So I assume, well, there is only one person that can be able to do that without any problems.
Stay here.
And she was actually really, really smart, so I have the feeling that all that she knew that the others doesn't knew, even with investigations, that means she had something more special. So I'm doing my assumption that she's actually a detective. Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for your help, that's right. Why so I understand you're not convinced? Hey, thanks for the watch, thanks for the follow, dude, damn it. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Talk to me. You say you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how did that turn out? Will you be able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember. But at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability? My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective? Yeah, was kind of obvious. You were always really fucking smart. And you know everything about the deaths and the details. And about Sakura's killing, that deduction of a closed room case, it was like, wait, I hear that somewhere before in Phoenix Wright, so yeah, I kind of tied the pieces together, so yeah, she's the ultimate detective.
correct.
And the reason I came to Havoc Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Havoc Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Okay, I was not expecting that. What?
In other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way.
Huh?
No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory had not come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course. My whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there is no misunderstanding. I say the headmaster was not the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I feel based on what I've seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
so...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicions, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's the layout of the entire Hope's Peak Academy. I found it at the headmaster rooms along with the Mukuro profile and the key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if they were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered it. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So, you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there?
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what's it in like? The part of the school I mean? It's hard to describe, all I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realized whatever is going on in this school is more horrific than we are ever imagined. What do you mean?
so...
I can't explain it, you need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you will get your chance soon enough. It's not like it must be important, and really obvious.
However,
Of course. Okay. I had no idea what's going on. It had to do with Mokuro Ikusawa, doesn't
however,
it? Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it was not you either. I know you were right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mokuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole the key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted me to draw me out to eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they could not interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restriction, you are free to explore Hope Peaks Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following their rules, and with that rule in place, they cannot step in. Since they cannot kill me themselves, they try to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind cannot step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bounded by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusawa. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. It could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know? The footstep of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairway, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away as I followed it. I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That was not the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that leads to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised. And the dojo key won't open in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. Holy shit, you are smart! No wonder why you are the ultimate detective. So all this will mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they could not interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They need the class trial to kill me, but seem ready to kill you. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who went cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and she'll be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mokuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever causes the events. You're talking
That's
about
right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy whoever responsible for what? They're the ultimate
It
despair.
would seem...
The hateful group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they are,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they are the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is a real enemy. Chapter 5, 100 Mile Dash. Pain of a junk food junkie. And that's the end of the chapter! And we're back to being only 6 students. And to be continued. Dream Island Rocket! Yeah, I want to save. Yay, that cute Monokuma. Save. Yeah, and that's where I'm gonna stop the stream, so... Yeah. Return to menu. Yeah, that's where I'm going to stop the stream, and apparently... Oh, there's 2 more cases. Okay, interesting. But yeah, I really hope you guys had fun tonight in Danganronpa stream. So yeah, I'm gonna see you... because apparently there is 2 more options there, so I mean that's 2 more chapters. So if there is 2 more chapters, I'm gonna continue the next weekend. If there is only 1, I'm gonna continue probably... I don't know if tomorrow. I probably say the weekend. So yeah. But yeah, so I really hope you guys had fun tonight in this Danganronpa stream. So yeah, I will see you guys real soon for more of this game, and I don't know if it will be the ending or not, we will see, but for now, hey, thanks for coming, and this is your host Rexo signing out.